Welcome to the Brett Davis Podcast.
Well, hello everybody. It's good to have you here at our show today. I'm very honored to have the founder, Doug St. Denis, and the CEO, who's been a friend of mine for a while and just continues to do a fabulous job, Merridee Book.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yes, well, thank you for having us.
So, first of all, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know that you are all over the place. You were on Channel 8 earlier today, and Doug's constantly putting fires out, doing all kinds of things himself.
What? We don't have fires.
Hopefully not.
No.
So, how did you two meet? How did this all come together?
It came together, 10, 12 years ago.
It's been a while.
It actually grew out of the Coronado Cultural Arts Commission, which I was one of the founders of. And everybody kept saying, we need a film festival. And yes, we did need a film festival. I mean, Coronado has a huge history with film. And it was like a natural thing. How could there not be a Coronado Film Festival? Merridee was on the board of COSA at the high school. Her kids, her daughter was a dancer there. And she and I ended up having lunch, and I thought, this woman is so sharp.
Wow.
We need to get her involved. We weren't a festival yet. We were fledgling, and we were working on a Wizard of Oz project.
Anniversary.
Yeah, right. And we were into it, and it was exciting. And then when we became a festival, and I took it as far as I could go, and we needed somebody who actually knew what she was doing, which was Merridee. I said, oh my gosh, I know just the person. We've got to get Merridee booked. So we call her, and she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I've been hired by another film festival. I said, no! And so that was disappointing, but we soldiered on. And then Chris Grant and I went to the opening night of that said film festival and got the program, and Merridee's name was not in the program anymore. Really? We said, oh my gosh. Very next day we called her and said, we'll meet you on the bay for lunch, and and we did, and the rest is history.
And here we are.
Here we are. Lo, these many years later. So, we're in our 8th year now, and we're joined at the hip, and we're co-conspirators. It's so much fun.
Co-conspirators.
Co-conspirators.
Yes, we do.
Partners in crime.
So
Yes.
It was kismet, and you knew right off the bat that there was something special there.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows, because every year, we've been going for, I don't know, 4 years, probably about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And every event has gotten better. And one thing is, it's really hard to do, but you're able to do it. As many people as that do go, it's very personable, and people really know each other by name, and people love the festival because it's not like any other festival that you go to, because the island in itself is special the way people get around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's probably, every festival sort of has its niche and has something that makes it unique. And for Coronado, and I started thinking, how do we package this so people get sort of a description? And we were thinking it's like Mayberry by the Sea. It's really a small town, but it has a very global footprint. And people that live here, they're either retired or it may be their second home. And they have such fascinating backstories, and they're from everywhere. And so our festival actually reflects that. It's an international festival, and what makes us unique is we're walkable. You can jump on your bike, you can come over if you're local, or you can take the ferry. We have a lot of people who live downtown and take the ferry over, people who come and make it a daytime destination. But it's really it's such a special place. And you're right, people do know each other by name. And if they don't, they're shocked that people actually introduce themselves.
I mean, Coronado is the most welcoming community. There's just, it's hard to describe, and Mayberry is probably the closest you come to it.
Yeah.
But these are people who, have seen Paris, and here they are in this small, walkable community where they know your name at the cleaners, and have they ever embraced this festival?
Yeah.
I mean, they this community has just assumed the host role. And so when people come here, unknown filmmakers, stars, anybody, they've been to Cannes, they've been to Venice, and they say we have never felt more welcome any place we've been than Coronado. And it's just kind of who we are. And you see people on the sidewalk and they want to talk about the movies they've seen and what are you going to see next, and there's food and there's music and there's movies and there's just so much to do. It's like jam-packed days. Of course, you can't see it all.
No, you can't. But again, that's, I mean, you just captured it so well that it's not just about throwing a bunch of movies together and a great programming schedule, which we do, by the way, but it's how people feel when they get here. And time and again, we've had filmmakers express that very thing that Doug just shared is we've been everywhere. Most films go on sort of a festival circuit, a festival run. And so that feedback is really important for us. And when we hear it, it's so amazing because sometimes we just take it for granted. But it's really true, and I think the people who attend our festival, even San Diego at large that comes, they are just friendly. San Diego is an awesome city, and Coronado is just the perfect backdrop for this type of festival. And we have so much to say, so much to share.
Yeah, and we were so fortunate from the very start when we were about the time I was having lunch with Merridee and doing The Wizard of Oz. Our friend Andy Friedenberg, who started the Cinema Society of San Diego, helped us get started. And we're having this meeting saying, we need a festival host. We need somebody who's a name, who people in the industry will notice and everybody will recognize. Mm-hmm. And Andy is sitting there eating his sandwich and he said, so what do you think of Leonard Maltin? Would he be good? I said, you know Leonard Maltin? He said, he's one of my best friends. Let me give him a call. And so Leonard came and his wonderful wife, Alice, what a character. And they've been with us ever since. And I mean, he really set the tone for it. He is such a gentleman. He only wants to work with nice people. We'll have some star we want and we'll say, what if we get, he said, no, don't get him, don't get her, but we'll get you somebody better. Has to be people like us who have a good time and get along, and and that kind of energy is contagious.
It is, and I think it's important that for any successful, especially what you're doing in Coronado, why wouldn't you want to have a nice people involved?
Well, and what was so amazing about Leonard, not only is he highly respected, people know him for years of doing these incredible interviews, but he's a historian. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that is so special about Coronado is that we do have this long history of Hollywood. The Lumen Studios was the first studio on the West Coast, film studio.
It's right outside here by the
on First Street, right?
So to have someone who not only understands the necessity of preserving those, people who have come in the industry long before we got here, and respecting that, and then respecting our history is just, we could not have asked for a more amazing gentleman to really represent, our festival.
And he knows every movie,
everything.
He's wonderful.
He's sharp.
Yeah. And he loves our history too. I mean, that just and he's always saying, don't lose what you have. You're growing and you're getting very well known, but don't lose that small town, wonderful, welcoming feeling that you have. And we said we can't, because it's who we are. There's no way we could do it any other way. But everybody knows that Some Like It Hot was filmed here in 1958, and we all associate Marilyn Monroe, and we show the movie on the beach when we can, right where it was filmed. But what people need to know is that the history of film started here 50 years before that, at the turn of the century. I mean, Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford. They all walked these sidewalks.
Chaplin
And-
used to play polo here.
Oh, absolutely. And they would come down from LA. The Dell was new, this wonderful hotel
Sure.
right on the beach.
Errol Flynn.
Yes,
And we had
Errol
his daughter here
Flynn
last year.
and Naval Aviation was born, and then all these stars like Errol Flynn and Clark Gable, they all did these flying movies, and you know, it just worked. And those movies, we've shown them. I mean, we had
So
Errol
this-
Flynn's daughter
This
here.
year,
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
last 3 years, we've had a gentleman by the name of Tim Reed
Oh,
who
yeah.
has joined Leonard, and he actually curates our sort of this historic, our nod to our history every year, and it's a special presentation. This year it's Olivia de Havilland, and she did Wings of Navy,
One of my
and she did
favorites.
the one
Yeah.
with, and she did many films with Errol Flynn, so the
Right.
connection is there. And just, I mean, she was
Fabulous actress.
unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
most people know her from Gone with the Wind,
Sure.
of
Right,
course.
right.
But her legacy again just spans, and she's all these touch points to Coronado. So that will be the special presentation
Yeah.
that Tim and Leonard are doing this year, and that's on Sunday morning. But yeah, there's a lot that's happening, and again, Leonard is obviously our head juror, but he's also our honorary chair, spokesperson, I should say. And what's the word I'm looking for? Our honorary for the Leonard Maltin Industry Tribute Awards. And that gala has just continued to elevate, I mean, the award honorees that we've had in the last.
And I think that
4 or
we're
5 years.
unusual because it's like an interview with Leonard. And each honoree that we have, they sit up in easy chairs and he has a conversation with them and they tell personal things. I mean, last year we were talking about it was Richard Dreyfuss, or was that year before?
That was the year before.
Year before.
Time goes
He
by.
wanted to talk about civics. That's his passion.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Leonard talked to Richard about civics. I mean, Andy Garcia was here and he said to Leonard, this is so unusual. I have never sat down at an event like this and have somebody really want to talk about me and how I got into
Right.
this and what's
Not-
important to me.
Right, not just
And
promoting the
he
latest picture.
had quite a history with his family fleeing Cuba, and so you know Leonard makes that happen for us. He just sets the tone, and we're really
Yeah.
fortunate.
So there's some differences this year over the last couple of years, isn't there?
In
Well,
Like how-
tell us about how the dinner,
Oh,
where the dinner's going to be.
absolutely. So and just, you know, part of the tribute as well, and I think, you know, not just Leonard having this interview on stage and it's like a 5-minute interview, but you know, our festival, we are very committed to showcasing individuals within honoring individuals for their legacy and their body of work. So it's not necessarily just, you know, some film festivals, it's got to squeeze it in, you know, a red carpet appearance before the Oscars. And we've just got to, you know, we're promoting one film or the latest project. And we love to get those celebrities as well. But we do what's called above the line and below the line. So we have artistry and filmmaking. We have, you know, that's makeup, that's wardrobe, that's costume.
Cinematographers. I mean,
Cinematographers.
these are not
It's
household names.
Set design, right. And so you
Yeah.
don't know their name, but you obviously
You
know
know
their work.
You know
And
their work.
You love their, you know,
And-
and it's
Yeah.
an honor for us to introduce people, and then they walk away and go, oh yeah, composers. I mean, we've had, you know, Alexander Desplat, 12 Oscar-winning, you know, I mean, Chris Bowers. He's on fire. I mean, most people, I say most women didn't discover him until they started watching Bridgerton.
Yeah.
But Chris Bowers is just on fire right now and just
Yeah.
so incredibly talented.
He
And-
he did the music in Green Book, and he did a little concert for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Green
it's
Book
right
is a
there in the
fabulous
one-
movie.
absolutely.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's
One
just,
Best Picture. Yeah.
all of these people sort of come together in
Yeah, that was our-
what I call a ballroom of talent. I mean, it's humbling who's come and attended, and we are so honored to honor them. But so this year, unlike all of our previous years, we are hosting at the Commodore Ballroom at the Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort, and those tickets are open to the public. You don't have to be a badge holder. You can join that. You can go online, purchase a ticket, purchase a table. We have sponsorship tables this year for the first time. It's our filmmaker at a table. So if you want to sponsor a table, you'll be seated with 8 of your friends, and then we'll put 2 filmmakers or producer or director will be seated at your table.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You
Yeah.
said Lowe's, and it has such a long history with Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's, I
Absolutely.
think even probably more so than the Hotel Del,
Right.
because of it.
Yeah.
Weren't they involved with film for a long time?
They were. I don't know the Lowe's history as much as
Yeah.
I
Lowe's
just know
Hollywood.
the
Yeah.
Lowe's
Lowe's
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
They
But-
were powerful.
And
Yeah.
we've always, since we started, had our celebrity tribute in the Crown Room of
Sure.
the Hotel Del,
Uh-huh.
which is under construction right now. Lowe's has always been a generous hospitality sponsor for us. They're right down, a
Yes.
little bit down the Strand, beautiful on the bay. Probably the most spectacular hotel lobby I've ever seen in all the world.
That says a lot.
I mean, with a beautiful bar and comfortable seatings and the view and the whole thing. And they
Yes.
are so thrilled to have our
Of course they
tribute
are.
there.
Who wouldn't
Yeah.
be?
Yeah, we've always
Who
had our
wouldn't be?
jury stay there.
Yes, they've
yeah.
always been our hospitality. Our
Yeah.
filmmakers stay there and the jury stays there. So I'm really excited actually to kind of switch it up a little bit. I mean, the Crown Room is iconic, and obviously
beautiful.
it's legendary with
Sure.
all the celebrities and dignitaries and presidents and movie stars, and that just adds to, you know, the ambiance of the evening. But Lowe's is just, it's a different
Vibe.
a different
Yeah.
vibe,
Yeah.
and it's still, but what I love is they have that fabulous lobby
Oh,
and
yeah.
a great lobby bar. So I know the after party is probably going to just roll right into that bar. And all of our filmmakers and jury and a lot of the attendees will already be staying there. So
Right.
I know Mr.
It's
Spielberg,
gonna be-
Mr. Spielberg likes to stay there.
it's going to
Yeah.
be a
I've
big
heard that.
party. is
That's
what it's
before
gonna
they
be.
end up at my house, which they usually do.
So, but this, yeah, I think the party will continue, and we're excited. Lowe's, their team is phenomenal to work with, and it's, yeah, new space, but it's definitely going to be the same level of
Quality.
and honorees, and yeah.
You know what we have this year, though, which we have every year, but we have some phenomenal local films,
Mhm.
including
Yeah.
Well, that's not why we had you on.
I know.
The Big Dump.
Here's
Yes.
our,
Which
yeah.
we're very excited about.
You know what's interesting, and you're gonna laugh. I went to get a haircut this morning. It's not a joke.
You got a
I got a
haircut?
haircut. Yeah,
I don't think cut is the right word.
And I went to get a little bit of a haircut, and the lady sitting there, I was enjoying the haircut because
Yeah.
that's like a massage, and all of a sudden I heard somebody say, "You're the guy that's involved with that film about the sewage, aren't you?" And I says, "Are you sure you have the right bald guy to be my partner?" But it's crazy because people are, because the media, San Diego's media has covered this really well, and talking about the film festival, but also talking about something that needs to be corrected because it's going to affect people's health. It really is.
You know, the
Absolutely.
beauty of this film, to me, is everything nowadays is fiercely political, and you have to take this side or that side. This is not the case with
No.
this film.
No.
It's something we all need to know about and get behind and learn about. It's the science. And you offer solutions in that. And you know, I said to you when I first saw it, send this movie to the president, send it to the governor. Let's get it out there.
Well, my partner Larry offers the solutions. I'm kind of the sounding board. But,
Yeah.
but I have to tell you, you're right. It's not political.
No.
It's about people. We've talked to every side, left and right, and they all agree on the same thing, and it
Right.
needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
right.
So I'm going to interview you now. So tell us, when is this screening and who is going to be joining the panel?
Okay. So the screening is going to be the 10th of November at 1 o'clock. It's going to be at the COSA
Friday,
Friday.
Yep, at the Coronado Performing Arts Center.
Exactly,
Yes.
which is a
Yes.
beautiful facility.
which has 600 seats, so
So we
everybody
need to
come.
fill that thing up.
Yes.
I'm going to be the moderator, I guess. Larry Delrose will be there as well, and we're also going to have our director, Ellen Grosco, who did a phenomenal job and
Right.
was a great team player. Our producer, our executive producer, Larry Delrose, and our producer Sarah Morga, who was
Sarah, who's
editing
behind the
right.
camera.
Sarah's actually the one.
It's going to be great.
She's actually the one that's kind of the boss over all of us. I got to be honest
She's
with
the
you.
boss lady.
She's the boss lady. But you know what's crazy is everybody. I mean, Doug's a phenomenal artist, by the way, and my grandfather was an artist.
Oh.
So I've been around art my whole life. But I have to tell you, we all have an artistic eye for this movie, and we wanted visually people that maybe didn't want to hear people doing it being interviewed, but if you saw the visual right off the bat, it would make its impact, and I think we were able to pull that off.
Yeah, and and that's, again, I think documentaries like this, we talk a lot about the power of film, and visually, again, pictures, images say a lot more and can capture a lot more than, if you're standing up listening to a lecture. If you just put a 30-second video on, instantly you've grabbed someone's attention.
Sure.
If you've done it right. And I think, for a film festival like ours, not only do we showcase our local talent, which we have a lot of. There is a pool of creativity.
I love that.
All throughout San Diego. And we have a locals shorts track this year that last year I thought it was epic. This year I was just blown away again. And it finds itself. I don't even create it. I just look at what has been submitted, and suddenly we've got this incredible track of films. And I think with yours as well, not only is this, well, it's not just timely, it's necessary. It's been happening for decades. And, the sewage coming over from Tijuana into our oceans, that's our front yard.
And breathing. I mean,
so,
you point out
breathing.
it. I mean, it's critical. People are getting sick.
So the lady that was at the barbershop this morning told me, and it's funny, said, by the way, my husband is involved he's a very powerful person in Southern California for testing air quality. I would love for you to talk to him.
Oh.
It was just really weird the way it all happened, but the air quality thing is a huge thing that people are just not thinking about.
Well, because you think of the water, you think of what you're ingesting or what's coming in through your skin. You're not actually thinking about what you're breathing when you're standing by the ocean and standing on the beach.
And the beaches is just our greatest resource. It's what sets us apart from the Midwest, and people come here for that, and we're so our beach is always voted in the top 10 beach.
So how can we have the worst water?
I know.
Well,
the worst ocean.
That's a question with 100,000 answers.
Yeah.
So, but if you really want to dive into it, but it's, and going back to, the fact that I think, again, for us to screen films like The Big Dump, it allows people to become educated on a topic that they're not aware of.
And a lot of people aren't aware, even in San Diego.
Right.
Well, absolutely. And they hear about it, but they don't understand it. And they don't understand, again, it's the whole not in my backyard mentality. How is that going to affect me, and why should I care? Well, there's a lot of reasons why you need to care. And as this water creeps up the coastline,
it is.
It is.
There's a part of the film where I say it's coming to a beach near you.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But we need to be good stewards of the earth. And it isn't a political debate. There shouldn't be a debate. We're all here.
It's in every person.
We should all be, there's quite a few topics and quite a few issues that everyone should be taking, be passionate about, and there's no sides to take.
No.
You just can be proactive, and I think that this is one of them. We have a great culinary cinema this year.
Really?
That's
It's
wow.
It's spear, spatula, and submarine.
Is this new?
This is new. So, we've done culinary cinema every year.
Yeah.
But this one is really the impact of the ocean, but it's looking at the impact of the lionfish and how it just decimates every reef, every little underwater ecosystem that it can get its little jaws on. It eats fish. It eats every living thing. And
So
now
it's a politician.
It's a little politician. It's a little lionfish of the sea. Yes, but now they get his little spear and stab that little underwater
You're
politician.
going to say something else.
But staff the little stuff. But what they have come up with is a chef. Now they are learning ways to serve the lionfish. So now
Really?
you've got this whole cycle of life that's saving the reef that now has been adapted into a culinary experience. And we've got the Lionfish restaurant here in San Diego, which is the sister restaurant of the one in Florida. But we're really excited because the chef here in Coronado, it's a chef at the Coronado Yacht Club, Megan McKee, if I'm saying her last name correctly. She's going to be doing the sampling, but it's just another
She's fabulous.
example of how we're showing a film, how there's action that you can take. And actually this one's great because you can go out to eat.
Have you eaten a
But
lionfish before?
I have not eaten lionfish
Have you had a
before.
lionfish?
I haven't eaten.
So they're going to be
It's-
able to taste the lionfish?
I don't think we'll be eating lionfish at this because that's we
Lionfish
don't-
fish tacos?
Yeah.
yes. I'm
Lionfish
sure
tacos.
Megan will have a good.
Yeah.
She'll have some great tasty bites, but again, it's just that relationship with the ocean. But nobody's
Sure.
going to want to eat a fish that is full of contaminated, whatever
It's
sewage.
just they're kind of doing it anyway.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I
it affects. We all need to be aware of what's going on around us and where we live and how what we do in our daily life impacts everybody.
That's one thing about the film festival in the Coronado that you put on is that one thing I can tell you is there's always takeaways, and when you walk around the island and you hear people talking, whether it's at a coffee shop or the local restaurant or the diner or whatever it is, you hear people talking about what they've just seen. And
Yes.
you can learn a lot just by walking around and hearing,
Yeah.
and everybody has a great time, and everybody does learn things that they're surprised about.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just talking about, our programming, and we talk about it being an immersive experience, having the filmmakers in attendance, when you watch a film
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the lights go up and you're like, I have questions, and there's no one there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It just kind of deflates that whole
And these are
experience.
emerging filmmakers who are the Spielbergs of tomorrow. These are young. I mean, we
Well,
have them from every level.
I was
of
going to
the craft.
say, some of them are
So,
highly
we have
successful.
Academy Award winners, but close to my heart are the Ricky Rhodeses and the Will Mustons of the festival, because you just want to nurture them, and they will be our friends. Well, we've had them come, and then 2 years later they're accepting an Academy Award, and we think they're ours. They came to us.
Yes.
Sure. And they
And
don't,
that's-
they don't
It's the
forget you.
best
Yes,
feeling.
and that's part of
It's
it
the beauty
is that
of it.
you can look at in a festival.
Yeah.
You make connections that you would never make. You see films that you will perhaps never see anywhere
you
else.
won't see in a
We
theater.
have
Yeah.
quite a few San Diego premieres this year where we're going to be screening the very first run of a film here in San Diego. For a few, I would love to say the West Coast, but there's a few that are screening at the AFI festival right before us, which
Right.
we love that festival as well, and just remarkable what they do and the education. But we have one film, Black Barbie, and I just read today that Netflix and Shondaland picked it up, and that is going to be a phenomenal film. It's a documentary,
Black Barbie.
Black Barbie.
Black Barbie.
And, coincidentally, with the success of Barbie, this is really shining a light on the Black Barbie doll and the inception and how Mattel embraced that.
I remember
and
that.
Yeah.
really having the representation of obviously a huge portion of our population that
Right.
for little girls that wasn't represented, and it's an eye-opener.
Sure it is.
I mean, it's such a wonderful story, and I'm excited that we get to premiere that. We have Tyler Perry's story, which is our centerpiece film.
Really?
And it's
It's
called
actually
Max.
one of my
yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I did not know half this history. It is such a moving film, and it's very vulnerable, and there's a lot that's
How long is the movie?
It's our centerpiece film. It's, I think, probably, 2 hours.
Documentary?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
feature.
that's, yeah.
Have you had the opportunity to visit his studio yet?
No, have not. Well, it opened right before COVID.
Oh, that's right.
So, so no, I have not.
He does
But-
amazing. He does amazing work, and I know his grandmother was a big impact.
Yeah, there's some surprises in this, and I'm
He could've went-
excited.
Yeah, he could have went the other way.
Yeah, really excited that we get to screen that. I mean, that's kind of the fun of this is we work so hard to program this, but we're programming it for the people who are attending.
Right.
You know, we love to get it, but we love to share it, and and have as many people come out and see it. And it's in all of these films, and all of our programming is live. The schedule is up. It's on our website. You can go peruse it. We have individual tickets. We do recommend the Emerald Badge, though. Emerald Badge is the way to see the festival. You get to have your donuts and coffee in the morning, your happy hour in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Everything's sort of there. You have access to a few badge holder only perks, which those are. But yeah, if you only have one day with us, this year we have day passes, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Bloody Merridee? Do you have a Bloody Merridee after everything?
We have every wine and spirit company. We have incredible sponsors this year.
Wow.
So, and we kick off with the kickoff bash.
Right.
And that's on Wednesday night, November 8th. That
With a band,
again,
live band.
We have limited tickets open to the public. They are selling fast. They've been open for a while, but we have an incredible band. It's just a fun night. It literally is a party.
17 restaurants.
Taste of the festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your neighbor, Julie, is one of them.
Yes.
Tables with these great samples of their specialty items. And
Yeah.
Bar, the whole thing.
Kind of a preview night. We have all the
can't
trailers
miss
kind
that.
of running,
Yeah.
and it's
And we have trailers of what we're showing, and
Yeah.
it's our official welcome. Yeah.
So any other surprises? I mean, this is like Disneyland for film.
It is. And a lot of people don't realize, what do you do at a film festival? Well, if you binge watch anything, this is binge watching your favorite films, and you've got documentary narratives. We have a shorts fest, sort of a festival within our festival. Those will be screening all weekend at the Wynn Room. Incredible. We have 13 shorts tracks this year, or 12 shorts tracks. We could have had 15. I mean, the selection of shorts films are
I think you
outstanding.
selected one of my friends, Tommy Sablon's film.
We did.
He's a good friend of mine.
Little
Oh,
Tommy. It's such a good film.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy
It's-
is the pillar of San Diego. He's done so much for San Diego, and he's done so much for his friends. He never forgets anybody that he's grown up with.
Yeah.
He remembers. He's just that type of person. And I heard the same thing. I heard the film's phenomenal.
Yeah,
It is, and
it
that's
is.
part of our shorts track.
Yeah.
So that'll be on Thursday morning. So even before our opening night, the Shorts Fest actually opens earlier. And we do that because, number one, to get them all in, but also because it's just a nice way to sort of start the day.
Sure.
And having all of our local filmmakers
Yeah.
come together. And then it just leads into our opening night feature that evening. And just, yeah. It's,
I'm excited, and I look forward.
jam-packed.
I look forward to the festival every year. I'm really excited. Every year you have it.
Yeah.
It's like that time of year that you get excited about.
I know.
And I appreciate both of you for what you do in Coronado and just worldwide, because this is a worldwide small town event.
It is.
It is. And I think just us being able to give a platform to voices, to stories that everyone needs to hear and see is a privilege. And we love it.
I'm looking at the date up there. So it's November 8th through the 12th,
Through the 12th.
the Coronado Island Film Festival. These are the legends that started it and are still involved heavily. And thank you both for being here today.
Thank
And
you
I look
for
forward
having
to
us.
having you do more podcasts and kind of share with what's going on, because as you know, podcasts is a growing industry, and I think you have a lot to say and there's a lot to share.
We like to talk. No. Yeah. But absolutely. We'll come back anytime. And we'll
Just
bring
wind us
we'll
up.
bring some filmmakers with
Well,
us.
this is your studio as well,
Yes.
so this is your home. I want you
Yeah.
to know you're welcome anytime. Larry has a key. We'll probably give you your own key. And
Yeah, thanks, Larry. He's off camera.
Sarah, thank you for what you do as well. Luna, thank you
Thank
also.
you, Sarah. Yeah.
Okay, you've got the dates. It's all there at the bottom of the screen, correct? Everybody take care and let's support the film festival, and which is highly attended, and I guarantee you will have a blast.
Yes.
That's right.
Everybody take care.